Hello, this is the membership department of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and we've got another edition for our membership Mondays. Today we're going to be talking about post-development and revitalization. This is a Commander-in-Chief project that's in the membership program for department level All-American contest. And it's something that's near and dear to the Commander-in-Chief's heart. So we are wanting to put out some guidance from the membership department, step-by-steps, and a quick overview, and then some contact information at the end if you have some further questions. What is it? Revitalization is all about aiding in the growth and continued stability of existing posts. The number one on that list would be mentoring. If you don't have a good mentorship program, or you're not mentoring people at the post level, there's not a real high success rate there. Members need to know what they're doing and what the goals are, and that comes with a good mentorship program. Of course, recruiting and retention, we always need to keep those that we've recruited and then continually recruit members. For post-development, it's a lot of the same, but in addition to that, there needs to be some coordination with the state and district leadership, follow those chains of command and stay in communication so that any new efforts can be coordinated. With that, identify at the department level, identifying veterans in the local community. So finding out where those veterans are, having recruiting events to bring them into the VFW and to let the community know what the VFW is all about. And then connecting with local military or student veteran communities. There's a lot of active duty posts, but also Guard and Reserve units who have a lot of soldiers, sailors, airmen out there that don't even know what the VFW is. On this, we've released the new post-development and post-revitalization manual that was just revised in September, and it will also have another revision with some logo changes in there. But most of the material has stayed the same. There's 5 different sections, one on forming a new post, one on revitalizing an existing post. There's a follow-up timeline to follow for both of those, and kind of a step-by-step on how to host a recruiting event, and a very extensive resources section that will help you as you go along. The program goals for post-development revitalization, of course, are for departments to identify local areas for growth. So looking at the state, looking at the veteran population, we'll go through that a little bit further in a more deeper level, but seeing where it's viable to put in a new post. And also integrating those efforts between national department and district leadership, and then bringing in those community leaders, the mayor, any community organization that already exists, to integrate the efforts between the VFW and those community leaders, maybe a fire chief or the police chief, different community leaders there, to work together to make the whole community better as a whole. Make sure that when you're starting a revitalization or a new post discussion, that you brief this list of people. A lot of times the people who are in these positions, of course, National Guard and Reserve, but the other organizations are prior service. So you're going to get a lot of buy-in. And if you have their buy-in, they're going to say, oh, John over there at the Walmart, he used to be a retired Navy chief, and he knows so-and-so. So you're going to get a lot of personal connection. You're going to get a lot of referrals, which is key, and getting people who are wanting to be active in the VFW to make that post, the new post or the revitalized post, successful. You want to go ahead and create a mentor team of leaders in the VFW. Could be past department commanders or some district commanders, national councilmen. You want people who know about the VFW, who have that knowledge of the history of the VFW, where we've come from, where we're going, and how to be successful at the local level. So with that team, you want to make sure that they've got a current copy of the bylaws. Things change every year, as we all know, and all the manuals. We've got the commander's manual, the quartermaster manual. Make sure that they have this and they're reading it and they know what's in there, and all of the forms that they'll need. So make sure you mentor the mentor team so that they can also be successful. What can we provide? So at National Headquarters, we have training. We have webinars like the one you're watching. So hopefully if you're watching this webinar, you know where to find the other webinars. We've got some quartermaster how-tos, anything that comes out new, we try and do a webinar on it, just so that if someone is on a Saturday afternoon, can't remember how to put in an installment life member, they can pull up a webinar real quick and get an instruction on it. We do recruiting classes. We have on webinar, so you can watch them in the comforts of your own home. DB214 informational video. We also have all the guides on there. The post-development guide is on there. You can download it. A lot of the brochures are online. Material support and certified national recruiters. So these are people who kind of train the trainer. We've trained to go out into the departments. We know that not all departments have CNRs, but if you do have a CNR in your department, please use that person. They have a lot of knowledge as well. At department headquarters, they can provide lists, unpaid and expired lists, and members at large lists. If you are a department head, if you're a commander or quartermaster and you don't know about this, please give us a call. We will be happy to show you where it is and how to use it. But just know that these lists exist. So if you're trying to recruit in a specific area, you can download this and start calling people. Here's a sample of what it looks like. It's got some information whited out, but you can see there that we've got all names, addresses, everything that we've got will be on this report. There's another report that's new from last year called Find Unpaid and Relocated. Again, this is only available to department level leadership, but at the post level, you can always request it. So call your department headquarters and they will get this for you. You can find the members within a certain range of distance. So if you're recruiting in an area, this is a really good tool for you. The guide, the post-development guide, is kind of what we're going through now. It includes resources, pamphlets, and brochures, a lot of online links. And one very important link is veteransdata.info. There's another one at va.gov/vetdata. But if you go to veteransdata.info, you're going to see this screen. You can click on demographics and drill down into the county. So that's what I've done here. I've pulled the county statistics. You just hit get report, pick the county that you're looking for, hit get report. And here I pulled up Otero County. So here you can see that in Otero County, which is Alamogordo, New Mexico, they have a very high veteran population, 20%. National average is 10 to 12%. So they have an extremely high veteran population, age 18 and older. And you can see that if you go to find a post from the VFW.org website, if you go to VFW.org on the top middle, click find a post, you're going to see that there's one post in that area with over 1,000 members. So they are sucking up that veteran population pretty well. So you can see maybe if that was the case, if we pull back the Otero County, we see there's 20% of the people in Otero County are veterans, and we pull up find a post for Alamogordo, New Mexico, and there's no posts, that's going to be where we need to put one. You can look at it by state. So pull up the state and look kind of where the holes are, where the veteran population is saturated. That's that dark red there. And that's where we're going to want to look and see where posts are in those areas. And if there isn't one, maybe that's where we need to consider putting one in. This is the country overall where veterans are in the dark green areas, and then where they're headed. That table down below shows projected in 2037 where veterans are going to be. 50% of veterans reside in the top 10 states, and those are the ones that are listed there. So that's some pretty significant data for those 10 states. Prospecting for new members. These are fantastic areas to start looking for new members, and some tips, leaving VFW flyers and magazines at barbershops. This is a good list to start with, and always think outside the box. So each community is different, each area is different, but you're going to want to focus here and then go out from there. We've gotten a lot of magazine applications turned into us here at National Headquarters, and quite a few a week. So those are going in as at-large members, and then you can pull that department at-large list and recruit those members to your local posts. Hosting a recruiting event is also key. You are going to have to host recruiting events to set up a new post, and the success of those recruiting events are going to determine how fast you can get the members to set up a new post. We have Brochures. This recruiting just got easier pamphlet has an order form that comes with it, so you can order any of the materials we have to your post. Most of the materials on top, here's the order form. Most of the materials on top, you'll notice, are free. We just ask for $5 to cover shipping, and I can guarantee you it costs more than $5 to ship it. But we're just asking for you to help with the shipping costs of those free items. There are some cost items below, but if you ordered some of these top materials, that's going to be good enough for any recruiting booth for sure. It is impossible for an organization to renew its way to growth. So, to build up a viable VFW, we must implement procedures to successfully re-engage lapsed members and increase new member acquisition. If we continue to have our continuous members pay and pay and pay, that's great. It's good to have continuous members, but they are going to die. They are going to transfer out. They're going to stop paying at some point. So we need to continue to recruit. Going back to the post-development guide, it's going to have resources in there, how to use current post and community resources, it's got contact information for all department and national leadership, and an extensive resources section of mostly what we have online. But a lot of people don't take the time to navigate through the website, so it's got some sample press releases, some OMS tools, what's available on there to try and encourage people to go onto the website. There's an award this year for new post development for the departments. So for each new post that's chartered, the department quartermaster is going to get $250 credit from the store to be used towards materials for the new post. Here's a copy of the charter application. I'll show you a little bit further where to find that online, but this is where you start. Yeah, I did skip one, so I apologize. Step one, how to establish a new post, kind of Barney style. Step one would be to download a copy of the charter application form, which is available online. You have to have at least 10 new members. That is not reinstated members. These are new members, never been members of the VFW in the past. The rest of the 35 can be, the remaining 25, total to 25, can be a combination of new, reinstated, or transferred members. Fill out that the charter application and send it to the Administrative Operations Department at the VFW. All the instructions are on the form. But with that, you must include the dues payments for those members. Here's a little snapshot of what the application for post-charter looks like. Step two, admin operations, once they've received it, they verify all that information on the sheet and they assign the post a number. From there, they send a letter to the department commander and to the department adjutant with more instructions. Here's a sample of the approval letter to the adjutant. Here's a sample of the approval letter to the commander. Step three, a post then, once they receive the letter, they have 60 days from the date on the approval letter to be instituted. So once you figure out all the details, contact admin ops and let them know the date. They are waiting anxiously for the date so that they can keep track of that. 25 members must be physically present to properly institute the post. They have to be there. If they're not, then it doesn't count. Step 3.5, just on institution. So the department commander from the manual, from section 201 of the manual procedure, it states that the department commander has jurisdiction to designate an instituting officer. So this can be anyone who's ever been a post commander in the past. But generally speaking, the instituting officer should be a prominent person in the department, a past department commander, past national council member, past commander-in-chief even. If you have someone like that in the department and they're available, that would be more appropriate. The charter will remain open after the date of institution for 90 days to allow for a post to add to its charter member roster. So they will, you have this report of institution, which I'll show you a picture of down below, but you'll fill this out and send it back to the Administrative Operations Department. So this is essentially the first election report. So it's going to say who's the commander, what's the post name, when is the post going to meet, at what time, and who are all the officers, and what is the dues amount going to be. So here's a little snippet of what that looks like. Once that's filled out, it's sent back to admin ops. They have it. Within those 90 days that we're kind of waiting, the Administrative Operations Department will send out this certificate to the post as a certificate of recognition to say, you have done a fantastic job. It's a lot of hard work to put in a new post, and we appreciate it. You're doing the mission of the VFW, you're perpetuating the mission of the VFW, and you're doing a great job. Step 5, 90 days after that date of institution, a roster is going to be sent from the Administrative Operations Department to the post and department commander and adjutant. That needs to be verified within 15 days. Once that roster is verified and sent back, the post charter will be printed. So after those 90 days have passed, no one else is going to be added to the charter. It is final. Here's a copy of the roster verification. Again, the personal information has been whited out, but each line there is a different individual. The post needs to go through and verify that these are the people that are going to be on the charter, sign it, and send it back. If you have any specific questions on that process, that is all through the Administrative Operations Department. The director is David Prohaska. Please email him. Email is always best, as we do a lot of traveling here at headquarters to different departments. So email David and let him know your questions, and he will respond to you. To find the forms, it's real quick. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Log in. If you've logged in before, set up an ID.me account, click here, or have not set up an ID.me account, I apologize. Go ahead and click the login as always. If you have set up an ID.me, click the middle one. If you've never logged into VFW.org, you have to, down below, sign up with Troop ID. Once you're in to My VFW, click on that training and support link at the bottom. Click on member and officer training forms and templates, and from there, under forms, is everything you'll need. All of the forms that we talked about above are in that section. You can click on them, you can print them. Some of them are even fillable. You can type in them so it's nice and pretty. Print it out and send it in. This is not live, so we don't have questions, but here is our contact information. Director Rick Butler, Deputy Director Rick McKenna, and I am the Associate Director, Tara Arteaga. It's been my pleasure doing this training for you today. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email, call, contact us in any way. We are here as a resource for you. Have a great day.